Hey, we love that umbrella guy. All right. Thank you.
I'm calling from Los Angeles, and I'm having a little problem under the name ThATuMBRELLAgUY. I sent him my phone number at least 20 times in the chat and told him to call me. He ignored me, or I'm a man. I filed the report. If you guys could take a look at it and give me a call back, I would love to hear what you guys can do to help us. We really need to kind of stop this guy at least until Monday. I told him to call me, or I'm a man.
You know what? I talk to your man.
Just my silence, ghost riding the whip, the mask up, live ender, boxing up your threats and returning them to sender. Step into me, you better bring your nation as I wreck you to the population. It's that umbrella guy on the verbal flamethrower, notching up the belt, not just some lame shower, cranking up a stream just to show what's beneath. I'm masked up, baby, but I'm still sporting teeth. With one bling to rule them all and one bling to blind them. Iced out, grilled up, hunting knowing we'll find them. The E-homes are always flammable and will ignite you. Calling out the games you play just to spite you. I'm still standing. I'm still standing.
All right. What's up, folks? Another day, another fun time, I swear. This train is amazing. Oh, BBB dropped 2 filings on us today. That's right. 2 filings in a row. By the way, I do want to give a real shout out today, especially any day, with filings, but especially today. Backslab kept it going because I was out all day long and I still got informed, got those files dropped on me. And I do appreciate it when I'm not around, especially it helps out because I don't have to, I got in at 6 something and yeah, I was gone all day, but still, you know what? I got to find out about a special thing. Would you like to see this special thing, by the way? I like to call it polyflop. That's right. Polyflop, baby. Oh my God. See, if polymop polyflops, baby. Oh my goodness. Oh, you're like, hey, maybe we should see that from a side view. There you go, baby. I'm with you. I'm with you. You know what I really like about it in the AI description? You notice when it faces forward, the the nose seems smaller, but the polyflop gets worse. Oh my gosh. Pinocchio's. You need to reel that in. Oh, I love it. Oh man, I tell you too. I mean, it's been one of those days where they're just they're not having a good one. You have yeah, BBB demanded, and he's like, I need to get some sanctions. I need to get some sanctions, and it's like, yeah, it's kind of strange that you just dump not one but two filings like back to back without ever. I mean, he didn't give it even a second. Like, he gave it literally. We got like I think 15 minutes, and we had another one. And I keep thinking, denied for crap again. The polymobs, the polymops turn into the polyflops. It's amazing. You can see it. I just love it. I absolutely love it. There was also some interesting news that came up today. Would you like to see this news? There's some other, well, kind of fascinating stuff on the old home front of another case. And I think this is equally, well, we'll see how this goes because, yeah, the way that this is described is absolutely nuts. So remember, we have not one, not two, not three, but 4 cases we are dragging through this. And 2 of said cases actually, I'm going to say puppet through another lawyer. Again, they could disagree with the way that I see that, but I'm going to say puppet through this other lawyer. Well, interestingly enough, you were supposed to have some depo today. Do you remember that? Well, Mr. Hale's posted this today. They pulled a no-show. That's right. Pulled a no-show. Not only did they pull a no-show, the way that they did this is nuts. Because according to Jeremy, which again, this is crazy because you have to think the way that this happens, if somebody's going to be deposed, you're setting aside time. You're pulling in somebody that is supposed to be able to record all of this. There's money that's involved. You have the lawyer, like people are paying for lawyers. They're paying for, again, somebody to actually go through and record all of that depo. You have court time set aside and more. And according to this, Stark, he ends up sending an email 15 minutes before the scheduled depo. 15 minutes. Now, he would know if there was any conflict, and he could bring that up anytime whatsoever. But he decides not to do that until 15 minutes before that's going to take part, stating that he has a trial on the same day at 2 p.m. and that he nor his client, LMNOP, are going to be able to be deposed. There's not going to be there for a deposition for the day. Now, that's nuts. Again, the way they have flaunted this with the courts, like hopefully something would be done because that's nuts. Again, it's not just a matter of, oh, well, I need to reschedule. If you need that, you should address that well before the day, well before 15 minutes to go. Otherwise, I would be demanding sanctions. And I would think this would be very sanctionable because, again, you're talking about wasting time. And this is a guy, when you look through everything, his wife posts quite a bit. And she says, she was talking about the big money that they're going to roll into. I showed you that at one time. Well, the other thing that she said about it was they haven't had a car since 2021. It's kind of crazy, too. I'm so good at this. I haven't had a reliable car since 2021. Maybe it's reliable. I said not a car, but not a reliable. I would consider you not having a car if you don't have a reliable car. But since 2021, You know, but they're going to get big money. Now, how they're going to get big money? Well, again, I'll leave that up to your interpretation. They've not said, but, you know, I don't know of anything they've talked about that was going to flop them out there, except I think a lot of people think they're going to get a big payday off Jeremy Hale. So maybe that's that. Maybe they think they'll get that big payday. But my point in bringing up the fact that there is no money in ye old piggy bank, who's going to pay sanctions if they get hit? Because, you know, LMNOP has no moolah, no greenbacks. You know what would be really fascinating about that? Here's the thing I was thinking too. You know, somebody in the ecosystem said, well, we'd help pay for that. Cool. You mean to tell me that you guys are going to put your money in Jeremy's hands? Awesome. That's amazing. I love it. I love it. But seriously, who is supposed to pay that money? I mean, you got Stark, and he's saying, I don't have any money. I mean, look at what he decided that he would, quote unquote, do the case for. What, $3,000? Like, that's nuts, by the way. Now, again, I personally, this is my opinion from his depo and seeing other things that have gone on and listening to BBB. I think it's just a name on paper. He may sign the final versions and stuff, but he ain't writing them up. We've seen the exact stuff that he says. So I believe that Stark is just a figurehead lawyer, somebody to practice through. But the fascinating thing in that is he takes on the liability of everything that goes on. So if he doesn't do that, if he again can something with 15 minutes to go, like it would be unfair for a judge to say, oh, that's okay, Stark, good to go. Because again, like this says, again, they have not followed proper procedures or the law. They haven't followed the law in this, nor, again, if they had a problem, they could have 100% rescheduled. If there were conflicts, you know, there is a proper way to do that. The proper way is not, here's my middle finger here. We're not going to do it. But you notice, I mean, they don't come off of documentation. They always have computer problems or scheduling issues. Yeah. And like Robert said there, Judge Davis is not the grudge judge. Oh, no. So they're playing around with fire. They're playing around with it actually in a few courtrooms, you know, and you got to wonder, like that check sometime is going to come due. But that's a big issue right there. I mean, when we're talking about it, that is a huge issue. God, that's nuts. Hey, by the way, I want to show you something today. This is random, but I do want to show you this. So today, I had to go get some imaging done, and I went to the smallest hospital known to man. You know, now I didn't have a problem. I just needed imaging, and the place that I go, the hospital, their imaging thing is down. So I went to this hospital. Look at this thing. I've got to show you a picture of this. Okay, this is so crazy. I posted this. Look at this. This is a whole hospital. Like, this is the emergency room. And okay, the emergency, well, there's the entrance. Oh, wait, here's the main entrance. This is the entire hospital. Over here is over on the side where it drops off. There's a couple more windows, and then there's a loading dock. This is entire hospital here. I was like, when I pulled up, I kept telling the person with me, I was like, this is the IKEA of hospitals. You know, I mean, what is this thing here? It's like a shoebox. I mean, it was tiny, and they had a lot of people in there. Maybe it actually wasn't a lot of people. Maybe there wasn't a lot of room, but I kept thinking, you know, it's horrible to be in this place because normally when you go to a hospital anyway, I'm always paranoid I'm going to catch something, you know, I mean, sick people are there, right? And my chances of having some contagion get near me have gone up exponentially when I'm sitting again in the IKEA of freaking hospitals there. I bet you though, they're gonna build like a big boy hospital. They are, you know, they're gonna do that. But I thought this was fun. I was like, what in the world? I went out the middle of nowhere, you know, and this was, I got referred to how I drove. I was like, where the heck is this? This place is so small. There's not even signs to tell you how to get there. Like, you know how you're driving down the highway and you'll see signs that tell you hospital to the left or to the right or whatever, right? This place doesn't have them. There were none there. Luckily, I mean, we were out in the boons where there was no signal very much, you know, in certain places, but luckily there was some signal. It was just the most bizarre thing. I had to go out, and oh man, this sucked too. So I go out all the way out there, and this is crazy because I'd gone to the hospital the other day. You know, I was setting up, got my. It was on that Monday where I heard everything. It was this Monday, let me say, where I heard everything about my heart. They said they wanted to do some other testing, so they wanted to do an X-ray imaging, esophageal thing. You know, so they could look at a hiatal hernia, see how it's doing. So I listened to them say, you know, it's a walk-in thing. They called over. They told them yes, that was the thing. It's just a walk-in appointment, right? No big deal. So I called them to verify where they were, and also to verify that it was a walk-in. You know, because I didn't want to go over there and schedule. They were like, yeah, that's it. So okay, drive out to the middle of BFE here, BFE Prime, because there's nowhere there. And yeah, it's not a walk-in. It's actually something you have to schedule. I was like, man, I was on the phone with your people. Why didn't you schedule it with me? So anyway, but I did have a great day. So it was a good day. I'm not complaining. I just thought that was amazing. I got to see the smallest. It should have been a landmark. And luckily, like I said, during all of that, I have wonderful people out there that decide that they're going to send me stuff. So today what we had, and this was fun. These are fun times. Check this out. We actually had 2 filings, like I said. Both of these filings are motions for sanctions. You know, that's right. We have not 1, but 2. Now, if you look at this and you're like, when I show you these at first, you'll think I'm actually showing you the same document, you know, because when you look at it, you're like, oh, motion for under 28 USC 1927. Man, I'll finally bumble my way through that one. But let's see. When you look at both of these, let me see. Here's the other one. Look, it kind of looks like the same filing, right? At first, you're like, wait a minute, what's happened here? You know, are you losing your mind? But then you'll notice this one is 105. Mm-hmm. This one right here. Give me a second. This is document 104. And they're for different things. He dropped these within 15 minutes. Now, here's a fascinating little tidbit, by the way. You know, they've been trying to scare up money for documents, and they've been doing it for months. They will hit it eventually, but without only me or David the donor, they're dropping big dollars for documents and dropping big dollars for other things. Yeah, they're not moving like they used to. You know, used to, they could just snap up something and be like, ha, 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 look at what we did, right? They've been trying to get money just for one thing. Remember all the stuff they have to do. As part of a lawsuit, you don't just, you have costs for depositions, you have costs for subpoenas, you know, you have all these other costs, right? Well, the cost for Depo for Jeremy Hales, you know, where they decided that they wanted to, not just Depo, but they wanted to mess around. They wanted to F around. They wanted more Depo. They accrued more cost. They still haven't paid for that. They're picking up the money. They've gotten close to it. Like I said, I don't doubt they'll get the money sooner or later, but that's only that's less than $4,000. That's just one cost as they move forward in this litigation. It's very expensive. That's why when they've talked about waging lawfare, going after people and trying to ruin them, I think personally, I think 2 things on this. And again, they can correct this if I'm wrong. You know, this is just me speculating. I'm not, you know, again, I'm open for them to correct this. But number 1, I think that BBB is broke. He doesn't have the kind of money you need to wage lawfare like this. He can go out and waste time, waste other people's money. Because as long as he's filing stuff, it's a waste of his time. Like, that's why he can go in and paper this case, because he's not really expending the resources like a Jeremy has to. Where Jeremy, he has his lawyer that's having to fire back and counter all this. That's why we have over 100 freaking filings in this. It's ridiculous. Every time BBB, anything comes up, and look at some of the dumb filings, by the way. Look at how bad some of them have been. Again, Gainesville to Gainesville. And then we got another Gainesville, I mean, look at how dumb that was. Look at the last decision where, oh, no, you don't have the jurisdiction to have this. And the court was like, yeah, everybody knows you do. And Randy he responded to that. He actually had quite a lengthy document with that. Again, sometimes I'm like, man, either BBB is the dumbest human being as a lawyer, maybe, maybe that's true, or he's a genius. Like, hear me out with this, right? He's like, I'm going to play so dumb while wasting all these other people's money. And I don't think it's that one, but wouldn't that be crazy? He's like, whoa, master plan. Not actually a moron. He was like, you know what? I'm not actually the polyflop. He's like, actually. Love it. But no, he filed not one, but again, 2 motions for attorney fees. And it's fascinating considering everything else that is going on right now. He's filing yet again. I mean, now one of these is very interesting. But I mean, actually, both of these I think are pretty interesting, because you can go through these and be like, what in the world are you talking about? Are you really trying to do this redonkulous BS? So let's look at it together. We will go through first. Again, if you're keeping track, we are now up to 105 documents. That's right. Like I've said before, by the way, typically in a case, you could have multiple parties in something and still not reach 105 documents. Like, sometimes, I mean, again, it depends on how. I'm not talking about add-ons, like 28-1, 28-2. I'm talking about the main numbers. Typically, you won't have main items reach 100. Look at where we are, and we're already at 105. Again, like I said, this is papering the case. It is every time he gets butthurt, and he's butthurt because of what's happening with the sanctions thing, and that he lost. He lost. The judge told him, no, you cannot knock out the sanctions. Like, he's mad about that. You can tell, because this reply, I mean, look at when it comes after. You can always tell with him. He's transparent in that way. I mean, you just had, again, order come in. You had 2 orders, really. You had order 103, though, that knocked out. Again, let me pull these up, actually. You can see what led to this, because I want to be, I don't want to pull up them. I just want to pull up the scheduling here. So you had 102. Remember 102, it knocked down his motion to strike sanctions. The only thing that he got out of it, in fact, this is fascinating. Have you heard, and I'll talk about this a little bit more later on, but the ecosystem is now saying that, I kid you not about this, by the way, they were trying to say that maybe the judge has been bribed by Hales. I kid you not. Some of these idiots out there taking the platform saying stupid shit like that. Not only that, they were trying to say that the judge is MAGA and that BBB is anti-MAGA, and that's why. I was like, when did that come up? What? What now? Oh, my God. Again, you can think that the judge is not doing a good job. You can think that the judge is being too softball. Again, I have criticisms there. But to come up with a conspiracy that the judge is being bought off, are you kidding me? You know, what in the world? Because I think that they really are afraid that BBB is going to get knocked off this case or that he's going to get sanctioned. Something bad is going to come up. They've been losing so profoundly. They can't think to themselves. See, this is the thing with the ecosystem. They can't admit that BBB is a bad lawyer. Like, he's not good at what he does. I keep saying that. You know, he gets butthurt over the slightest thing. Again, Gainesville to Gainesville to Gainesville is a perfect example. The judge is like, yo, Gainesville to Gainesville, we're already there, man. Come on. You know, what are you doing? So what does he do? He files another one. He's like, actually, judge, this is what's going on. You know, you're wrong, judge. You're very wrong. And did you know that Megan Fox, she actually, she made a filing. I mean, not a filing, but a song rather, and I have to bring it up in my filing. Oh my God, I love this. I love this case. I do. Again, Jeremy, I do not wish this on you in any way, but I hope everybody, when I say that, I hope everybody understands what I'm saying. Like I said, I would never wish this on a human being, but my God, the insanity. I've never seen someone so dumb. It's like, how is this person real? I love it. So let's read this together. Here's part 1. This is, again, for anyone playing along, this is 104. I mean, it's amazing how many documents have hit fast too. Oh my gosh. I mean, we've just had them repeated, bam, 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 bam. And we still haven't gotten BBB's, his answer. I didn't expect this. I actually figured he would have a butthurt filing somewhere between. I think I said that yesterday. If I'm not mistaken, I brought that up yesterday. But if I didn't, I brought it up on another day. I said that before we got our answer, that we would actually have some kind of a butthurt filing. But I didn't know what it would be. I thought it would be an argument. But no, this is actually him filing motions for sanctions and or attorney fees, and he's doing it not once but twice. He did it twice. I mean, it's so crazy. So the defendants move pursuant to 28 USC 1927 for an order that the plaintiff pay a reasonable attorney fee as a sanction. He's mad. Like I said, he's looking at sanctions, so he's pissing around. He's mad about it. I mean, you can tell here. Like, that's what it is. He's like, oh my God, I'm having to pay, possibly. He's looking at sanctions. You would think, by the way, you would be watching your P's and Q's, right? But he's like, no. I will show them. Don't they know I am the BBB? I love this. For unreasonably and vexatiously multiplying proceed. Oh my God. He's sticking in half of the polyflop. Dun dun dun. Polyflop. The multiplication of proceedings. Oh, every time. Again. Straight to the crap bucket for you, Bruce. Straight to the crap bucket. He throws in the multiplying procedures. Oh my God. By falsely accusing the defendant's counsel of fabricating quotations from legal authority, as well as other misrepresentations in the plaintiff's opposition. Document number 80 to the defendant's recent 12B1 motion. Now, we've talked about that, and I found that to be even more interesting than was initially alleged, because he's telling you, yeah, I go to stuff and I copy paste. I copy paste my sources. It's like, wait a minute, you copy and you paste your sources? Okay. I would probably research every one of them. I wouldn't just pull one source. Again, it was, to me, when I looked over his documentation, it was so duplicitous. It did not look, again, I am not a lawyer, but I have seen many documents, and it did not seem that he had cited this correctly. It made it look like he was quoting multiple items. And he was saying, no, I'm just quoting one. I have this whole area. And he had broken it up. It looked like he was quoting multiple items. But he was like, no, actually, I'm just quoting one. And like, okay. It was so amazing, though. He says, document number 80 was replete with misrepresentations to influence the court's view of the issues and authorities raised in the defendant's 12B1 motion. He's butthurt because his 12B1 motion got shut down. He's had so many motions get shot down. He's just mad about it. Oh my God. It's so, like I said, it is so bizarre because he's having tantrums. I mean, that's what these are. They are freaking tantrums. I have seen people. So if you're wondering, by the way, what he's asking for sanctions on, I mean, this is the thing. Okay, so check this out. I want to note this. So you do understand this is his tantrum right after that day. Like I told you, he's having a tantrum, right? So he mentions document 80. Okay. Document 80. If you remember yesterday, if you haven't been playing along, this is the order from yesterday. Remember when his motion to dismiss for subject matter jurisdiction, it ended up getting, the judge said, yeah, that's stupid. Well, look at the document here. Look what documents brought up. Document 80. Isn't that fascinating? Let me zoom in a little bit more. So when we're talking about document 80, he's actually throwing a little piss fit because I think of two things. He wants sanctions because, again, he's looking down the barrel of sanctions, but he's also mad because he lost this motion. He keeps losing motions, so he's mad about it. That's why he's like, oh, it misled the court, and I deserve to get money. I actually deserve money. And he's saying, again, if you don't believe that he, again, if you think that seems like it's unfair to BBB, I mean, again, it's right there. He's talking about document 80. Document 80 just decided on. And it wasn't document 80, again, that was wrong, that misled the judge or anything like that. Document 80 was pointing out stuff that BBB should have been fundamentally aware of. The order 103, again, we went over this yesterday. It was talking about subjection. What the argument was that BBB put forward, it was a stupid argument. He should know better than this. He said, well, certain the RICO conspiracy portion of this, it's out. Therefore, you can't get $75K in damages. Now, first of all, it's not been proven. But second of all, subject matter jurisdiction, that would be the federal court being able to have again, you have to have something over $75K to have it in federal court. Well, that had already been decided. Once it's decided, as the judge says, it is well established. If something happens, because cases, they move along, they change and modify. Well, if something happens and a piece gets knocked out, and it's true that it falls below that threshold, it still is allowed in federal court. That doesn't knock it out. That doesn't take it out on the merits. You can't just disqualify it because of that dollar sign. It was established before, and he's butthurt about that. So, as it was necessary to respond to ensure the court was not unduly misled, the defendant's request did leave to file a reply. That would be document 83, which the court granted. That would be document 84. The defendants thereafter filed a reply, document 87, addressing the misrepresentations claimed in the plaintiff's 12B1 opposition. So the plaintiff's misrepresentations thus resulted in multiplying proceedings by necessitating the request to file a reply. Oh my God, what a butthurt weirdo. He is, again, so now Polymop Now that doesn't just mean multiple cases. It means if he doesn't like it that he has to reply to something because he gets called out on his bullshit, that's somehow polymop too. Again, that needs to go right in the blue buckets. I mean, this guy, for real, anytime I see him, I'm going to imagine him with a polyflop chain on because, oh my God, are you kidding me? That's what he's going with. The court's ruling that document 84 and the reply itself, 87. Memorandum in support. 28 USC 1927 provides. This is going to get shot down, by the way. It's stupid. The judge already ruled on this. The judge didn't get into the bullshit there. The judge ruled that the grounds for your argument, it was a nothing burger. I think Bruce is broke. Again, I think this has a few things. Again, he's butthurt about losing the order. He's butthurt. He thought he had something there, and it looks like a fool in the ecosystem. He looks like a clown. He does. To the point, again, they have to come up with a conspiracy that Jeremy Hales is paying off, potentially paying off a judge, and that somehow it's a MAGA thing. I mean, they're really shopping that around so they don't have to say that he's a terrible lawyer. But also, I do wonder if he's broke. I wonder, because, I mean, look at the money problems they're having. They burned the big boy. They burned, man, David the Donor was a beast. He was a titan out there. And John Cook, he helped burn him. 2L burned him. Ray Boner Crusher burned him. I mean, all of these idiots. So, it states, though, any attorney or other person admitted to conduct cases in a court in the United States or any other territory thereof, who so multiplies the proceedings in any case unreasonably and vexatiously may be required by the court to satisfy personally the excess cost, expenses, and attorney fees reasonably occurred because of such conduct. I thought you were pro se, by the way. So there really aren't any attorney fees being paid, are there? I mean, maybe a filing fee, but are there really any attorney fees being paid? I mean, and that's a really interesting question. They keep talking about indigents, yeah. So they said they're not paying him. I mean, he's pro boner. I mean, pro bono. Shit, man. I mispronounced that. So he's pro hoc vice. So, I'm sorry. Don't know where I went with that one for a minute. Might as well just throw everything in there. Throw a kitchen sink at it too. No. Okay, really back. I'm in a good mood today. Excuse me with that one. I got really laughing with that. I don't know. That hit me funny. Seriously, though, who's paying attorney fees besides Jeremy Hales? I mean, Jeremy Hales he's getting hit hard with this stuff. Who's paying fucking Bruce? He's like, oh my God, pocket full of lint and broken dreams are not a payday. Maybe he's mad too because he's looking at this and he's thinking all of those plans he had for knocking this out of the park, it's still moving forward. Remember, he promised this was a dead case from go. Maybe he's figuring out that he's in it for the long haul and he might well lose. And just to add to that, he could become a litigant in something, which is not good for him. It's not good at all. I mean, and not to mention, Stark is looking down the barrel of sanctions. And I don't know what the hell's happening with Trespass 5, but that is the biggest garbage debunk case. They should just drop that and eat it because that's a stupid fucking case, too, and they know it. They absolutely know it. Stark, you ain't getting your payday, son. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that they told you that you were going to be running around in golden fucking Nikes. They're going to buy you a Bionic Man heart I mean, I'd like one too. You know, the Bionic Man. I love him, by the way. But no, the $6 million man. I love it. But it's not going to happen. You're not going to be driving around in a in a Porsche. I mean, I'm sorry. I will say, it would be interesting though. What did they pay him? $3,000? Man, it went. If he came clean right now, told everything the BBB had actually done, it'd be curious to see how the sanction thing would go. I'm not saying it would infect anything at all, but I would really love to know BBB's role. And I mean, if we're talking about a guy who had been duped into this, maybe people would feel, they would feel a little bad for him. And maybe they would point the sanctions, at plaintiff, not just him, because I mean, he's looking at causing himself problems there too. He's probably panicked because he's like, oh my God, we could actually get in trouble here. And Depo, oh my God, LMNOP being deposed. Holy crap, no. We don't want her deposed. They don't want her deposed. They don't. So, yeah. I think he should just spill all. But he won't, of course, because he's still got those golden dreams. Anyway. So, under the plain language of the statute, 3 factors must be present in order to justify an imposition of sanctions. So again, he's like, I know I have a hearing on sanctions on April the 3rd, but sanction Randy, please. An attorney must engage in unreasonable and vexatious conduct. Who's been doing that, by the way? Reasonable and vexatious conduct. BBB, you act like a clown. Again, Gainesville to Gainesville to Gainesville. Is that not unreasonable when a judge is like, hey, man, are you kidding me? Such unreasonable and vexatious conduct must multiply the proceedings. There's the mob. I told you. And the amount of the sanctions cannot exceed the cost occasioned by the objectionable conduct. So we have case quoting another guy. Oh my God. He actually put in there case quoting another case. You see that? Which you didn't do before. Like again, isn't this fascinating where he's moaning and complaining about document 80? If you think about it, what Randy called out was him. Again, he said he just copied and pasted in something. And he didn't note that one thing was quoting another thing or anything like that. Here he notes that. So he actually does that here, but he didn't do it before. Isn't that telling you either this is the way that it's supposed to be or that's the way it's supposed to be? One or the other. You notice he didn't do the way he did it before that got called out. He's changed that up. Isn't that fascinating? I do find that really interesting because, again, like I said, the whole problem was Randy, when he looked at something, I think all of us, when we all looked at the cases that he was noting, we all thought that he was quoting multiple sources there. And Randy came in and said, this isn't right. This isn't quoted by there. None of this stuff is in here. And BBB came in and said, well, actually, this is all from one case. And it's because he didn't make it clear. He didn't do it correctly. So it notes, more particularly, the term unreasonably necessarily notes that the district court must compare the attorney's conduct against the conduct of a reasonable attorney. Well, we ain't talking about BBB, are we, son? A reasonable attorney, man. Oh my God. And make a judgment about whether the conduct was acceptable according to some objective standard. The term vexatiously similarly requires an evaluation of the attorney's objective conduct. Also, see also, and again, look, he's citing He's noting that it cites, again, look at how he's quoting here versus how he did it before. He did not do it correctly before, and he knows it. He absolutely knows it. So he's correcting, he's course correcting what he's doing. I love that. I think it's so funny because he's showing us that he did it wrong before, that it was misleading as shit. Now he's trying to do it differently, but pretending at the same time that Randy should be sanctioned for calling out the nonsense and saying, you know what, this is ridiculous. But citing Black Law Dictionary for definition of vexatious, meaning without reasonable or probable cause or excuse, harassing or annoying. Quote, although the attorney's objective conduct is the focus of the analysis, the attorney's subjective state of mind is frequently an important piece of the calculation because a given act is more likely to fall outside the bounds of an acceptable conduct and therefore be, quote, unreasonable and vexatious if it is done with a malicious purpose or intent. Oh my God. I was reading some of the super chats and they're funny. A bunch of you there. I don't think Bruce can afford the lawyer's programs like Westlaw because he's citing Black's Law Dictionary. Maybe he's on a budget. You know what's really funny about this too? I'll tell you how shitty the ecosystem is. Like if I were to say today, if I were like, hey folks, I mean, this is not real, okay? I'm just saying this. This is just something random, okay? If I were like, hey, you know, I want to go out and I want to become again, I want to be able to be able to do weddings, which again I can do now. But if I were like, that costs $150, hey, would you hook a brother up? You know, you'd be like, sure, you know, you could do that because everybody'd be like, ha, 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 that's funny. He's like, please, I got the old ching-a-ling out. I got out the old cup. We need about 4K for a deposition. One, again, that's not counting everything else. I think they're trying to get money maybe to push this case forward. Maybe that's another thing. Like you're talking about money. Maybe it's broke to the point. I mean, again, if they can't pay for the depo, how are they going to continue this lawfare that they want? How are they going to continue to go after Jeremy Hales? Like if they don't have some Mr. Deep Pockets anymore, how the hell are they going to do this? Mr. Deep Pockets gave them quite a bit of money. I guess they could use that as the old war chest. But of course, Elemental P doesn't want to do that. I'm sure 2Ls doesn't want to do that. Everybody else that's been grabbing buckets of fun, they don't want to do that. Plus, David the donor didn't say that money was for that. So that would make it fraudulent. Oh, fun times. Fun times. Oh, man. Now, again, we have So, look at that gap there. It is objectively unreasonable and vexatious to make false allegations accusing counsel of fabricating quotes from legal authority. Oh my God, you're so butthurt. He didn't falsify anything. You didn't do things correctly. And the way you did it, it looked like falsifying. So you can sit there and argue about, I didn't do this until the proverbial cows come home. But the fact remains, the way that you set that up, oh yeah. Again, I noticed that you didn't quote the same way. I noticed. What he did, like I said, he took a section of an order that quoted a bunch of cases, and he just dumped it in like it's a standalone paragraph. And it made it look like, again, it was quoting all these different sources, and it was quoting them verbatim. So that's not a lie. That's you not doing things correctly. That's lazy ass. And I wonder how many times that's happened in the past. I really do. I wonder if people went through every filing that he's done in this and other cases. I wonder how many times he's done that and nobody noticed. Everybody thought, oh man, he's quoting a bunch of different cases when it's actually one case. I bet you that's happened before. So an award of attorney fees is warranted under 28 U.S.C. 1927, regardless of the outcome of the 12b1 motion, because the plaintiff multiplied proceedings by necessitating a response to the false accusations and misrepresentations. Although the court denied the defendant's 12b1 motion, again, he's butthurt. Look at this. Look at this. Oh my God, even though you shot me down, the decision did not address the quote unquote false accusation. I'm using, that's his word. Again, I very much think that Randy was correct in what he was stating. Because again, there is a way. I used to teach classes over at TTU, which TTU, Tennessee Tech University, which they are the biggest nursing school, really, Tennessee. And also they have a heck of a psych program. So I went over there and I would teach people how to do mock thesis. Part of mock thesis is that you have to adapt, whatever your, whatever style you're doing it in. For them, it was APA. You had to have just a specific style that you wrote in. You had all these rules and conditions that you had to follow when you did any type of paper. But when people were learning about how they would do as an undergrad, as graduates, typically as a graduate, you write a thesis, but as undergrads, they wrote mock thesis. You learned how to write a thesis. My thesis, this is funny, by the way. So I had this teacher. I'm not going to name his name. I thought about it and then I was like, no, maybe I shouldn't. I had this professor and he was a lush, very much a lush. Okay. He would go out, he would drink all the time. He would, let's say, he had a lot of women. These days, he'd probably get canceled. Let's just say that, because he did a lot of things that I shouldn't do, I mean, yeah. So anyway, I wanted him to read over my mock thesis that I had done because I wanted to see if there were any issues, that way when I'm teaching something that I think I was going to have to the next year, I was going to pick up these classes and actually teach them. I wanted to know if I was doing things right. So I took it over to, there's a bar off campus. I couldn't find him on campus. I had to hunt him down at a bar because that's where he called it his office. And I kid you not, my mock thesis that is filed over at that school has a beer ring over it where he set his beer down on it while he was signing it later on. It was like, this is the craziest stuff ever. Oh man. But the whole point in all that story was to tell you there is a specific way that you are supposed to do things. And I don't think he's doing it right. If it was the right way, again, he wouldn't have adapted his style and did it differently this time. He's like, it's like he tries to memory hole anything that he does. BBB it's the strangest thing. It's almost like actually you did that. What is going on? It's so bizarre. But I didn't address the false accusation contained in plaintiff's 12b1 opposition that the defendant's counsel fabricated legal authority, which alone is grounds for imposing sanctions. Oh my God. C, again, he gives another case here, is noting that attorney, what is that? I don't know how to pronounce X. I'm going to say X. I don't know. I'm going to butcher a name and I don't mean to. When I butcher names, I don't mean to do that. Also admitted in a hearing in February 13th, 2018, that he wrongfully accused another attorney of fabricating evidence. The court found that he should be sanctioned for his conduct under the court's inherent power to sanction parties for misconduct during litigation. Now, see, other case here, holding that the courts are invested with inherent power to impose sanctions for bad faith conduct, including attorney fees when a party has acted in bad faith, vexatious, wantingly, or oppressive reasons. Oh my God. Courts have also found that falsely accusing opposing counsel of misconduct is sanctionable under Federal Rules of Civil Procedure 11. This shit's going to get knocked down, I tell you. Holding that Rule 11 sanctions were warranted where counsel made false accusations against opposing counsel. And another plaintiff's conduct in making false allegations against defense counsel and Miss Morse were in violation of Rule 11. Unlike an email underlying plaintiff's motion for sanctions, 96-1, the plaintiff's false accusation was made in this case. Wait, unlike an email underlying the plaintiff's motion for sanctions. Oh my God. Oh my God. He's complaining. He's complaining about the sanctions thing that's coming up. 96-1. Let's see. Let's pull that up real quick. Give me a minute. He's complaining about the "you scumbag" one. So look, it's all about him being butthurt. Like I said, it's all about him. I didn't get to read this. Let me make this clear. Typically, I read everything ahead of time. I got to see what this was about, but I did not read these ahead of time because sometimes I like to be entertained in the moment too. And I'm very entertained right now. So right here, he's complaining about, again, this is the sanction hearing that is coming up. And 96-1 is the email that, here, give me 1 second. See, he's saying, I didn't do anything wrong. Actually, Randy did it wrong. This is that email where he calls Randy a scumbag, accuses him of being a doxer and more. The one he's going to pretend that I'm a litigant in this. I'm not a lawyer. Remember though, Bruce, you know this by now, right? A lawyer is a lawyer is a lawyer, right? You're supposed to comport yourself as a lawyer. So that argument is kind of stale. But hey, also, again, notice his buddies that are tagged into that. But he's bringing that in. So to make that clear, the reason I brought that up is because, again, he's whining about himself being sanctioned. He's saying, unlike an email underlying the plaintiff's motion for sanctions, the plaintiff's false accusation was made in this case in a court filing and not in private email, and his capacity as a counsel, not a litigant whose address had just been publicly doxed with 9 others. Wait, are you saying that, oh my God, is this an admission of wrongdoing? Is this an admission of false accusation? Because read this. Does this not sound, he's saying, unlike an email underlying the plaintiff's motion for sanctions, the plaintiff's false accusation. So unlike the email that Bruce sent, the plaintiff's false accusations. When you word it that way, this is how that reads to me. This is terribly written, or it's an admission. It says, unlike the email that I sent that underlies the plaintiff's motion there, unlike what I did, the plaintiff's false accusation. So unlike my false accusations, the plaintiff's false accusations. Holy shit. That's so bad. This guy is a buffoon. He is. Oh my Lord. When I'm reading, am I not reading that correct? That is what that read says, is it not? But his whole excuse is, even though I did this terrible thing, I wasn't counsel. I was a litigant. He's trying to drill that point too, but it's all about being butthurt because he's facing sanctions. So he's retaliating against. Randy needs to point that out. He's like, dude, this is retaliation against me talking about your unprofessional conduct. This is crazy. The judge is going to knock this down. I don't think the judge is going to enjoy this. Good, you keep filing these, Bruce. You're doing a good job. You're doing a really good job. Good job. Love it. Love it. Great strategy. You know what would really be good? You need to tell the judge how wrong he is a few more times. You just tell him that. It says it was an attack on the integrity of the undersigned, complete with a purposeful alteration of the cited excerpt from the defendant's memo to make it look like the false accusation was true. It necessitated a response, ensuring the court was not misled on the issue before it. The court shut you down, moron. The court didn't need, your argument was so crappy that the court spent that that decision 103. Let's just make this clear. That was the court saying, hey, let me give you some insight on how this already established, again, since the 1930s. I believe it was 1938. Shizzy was talking about that in his letter. Props to Shizzy, by the way. Giving some love there too. But yeah, the court was like, oh, yeah, this has been established for quite some time, idiots. Man, I wouldn't bring that up. It is not your best moment, moron. Oh, my God. I mean, does this not just read like butthurt? Unlike the plaintiff's motion for sanction, which has nothing to do with any proceeding and was filed without compliance, again, he's responding. This is inappropriate. This is grossly inappropriate, too. Because he is supposed to be filing a response or motion to sanction. He's supposed to be making the case. Well, he shouldn't have his pro hoc vice status kicked out from under him. I mean, really. So instead of doing that, he's trying to drill in statements that defend himself. Like, isn't that crazy? Again, this is grossly inappropriate, though. If Randy did anything like this, he would be screaming from the heavens about how terrible and inappropriate all of this stuff was. And he'd be calling Randy a scumbag and God knows what else. Just like he has before. So the plaintiff could have opposed the 12B1 motion without falsely accusing the undersigned of fabricating a quotation from legal authority, a direct attack on the integrity of the defendant's counsel to which he was compelled to respond. The plaintiff could have refrained from falsely suggesting that the undersigned independently contacted whatnot to interfere. Oh, what a piece of shit. Randy needs to respond to that too, because you did indeed contact whatnot. Oh, you did. You got included on a message that was telling you, hey, I'm going to include you. I'm going to make sure that this is all, there's transparency, 100% transparency. And what does BBB do? He puts in all of this bullshit about Jeremy Hales and whatnot. So for you to deny that, again, he denies reality. He does. It's insane the way this stuff comes up. He said it so many times. It blows my mind. Doesn't it blow your mind sometimes the way he's like, I didn't do that. I swear I didn't. It's so bizarre. The plaintiff could have opposed 12B1 without distorting Amanda Martin's testimony and without rehashing a prior false accusation that the defendant cited to non-existent legal authority in a prior 12B1 motion. These representations necessitated a response for which leave was granted, time extended, and to prepare and file, and for which an order to pay attorney fees. Again, who's paying attorney fees? Again, I thought you were working on this case pro bono. Are you now getting paid, Bruce? Have you been lying to us this entire time? I mean, again, maybe filing costs, if that's what you're talking about, but attorney fees? Like, what exactly do you think? Your time is worth shit because there's no payment. The only person losing anything in this, if it were true, and it's not, but if it were, it would be your free time, which is already free. So I'm confused about that. Ugh. It's like I'm working pro bono. Again, they think Jeremy Hales is a piggy bank. Maybe if they could desperately wedge a little money out, they could afford to continue their lawfare. It's so transparent. Conclusion, and this is This is number one. There's another filing too. Unless it is acceptable for a party to falsely accuse an opposing lawyer of serious misconduct, such as fabricating authority, or unless the falsely accused lawyer's time responding to such a spurious attack on their integrity is no value, the court should award the defendants a reasonable attorney fee to be paid by the plaintiff. So butthurt. Oh my God. Okay, that's number one. If you're like, man, there can be another one of these today, can there, Doug? Oh, yes. There is indeed another one of these today. Not the same filing, mind you, with other people named in it. At first, when I saw it, this was funny because when I got sent this, again, let me pull this up real fast. I'll show you what confused me at first. Okay. So when I first got sent this, I thought that it had actually, we were actually looking at 2 items. Give me 1 minute. Let me pull up the docket picture, because I thought there were 2 items that had been filed that are the same, but you had another party. You know how you'll like Preston asks for this, Cook asks for that. I thought that's what we were looking at. I mean, I really did. I didn't realize that when it was sent over. Again, I thought that he had done something like that. I didn't realize that within 15 minutes he had filed something different. I didn't realize that until I got home and I looked at it. Because again, this was the confusing part of it. Check this out. So just 1 second. I had to load this up. My bad. And again, one of the things I like with MaxLab melding things too, I actually like you do this, MaxLab, is he includes a picture of when the docket items come in. But I thought, look, when you look at the docket, it looks like he's filing 2 items. One of them again that is for Element OP and one for John Cook, right? I mean, that's the way it looks, because you wouldn't think that he was going to go in and file a motion for sanctions about 1 item and then come in and right after it, 15 minutes later, file another one for something else. Like, again, this is butthurt at the extreme. It just tells you he's losing it. Like, they are losing their freaking marbles over in the ecosystem. And it's funny, but holy crap. You would think somebody would step up and say, yo, dude. Like, again, I'm addressing this to Element OP. I'll rephrase this. I'll make it a little more, quote unquote, respectful. I'm addressing Michelle Preston and John Cook with this. Do you really think that this serves you? Do you think that all of this time, all of this butt hurt by Bruce, which this is what it is, where he may well end up kicked off of this case, do you think that this serves you in your case? Because I wouldn't say so. I mean, this is pathetic. In April, he's actually looking at potentially getting removed from a case, or you're looking down paying money. Also, again, the thumbnail case, I'm sure that they told you, oh man, this is going to go a certain way. Remember BBB, Bruce, he didn't know that he was actually looking at sanctions through this. He thought there was no way he could be sanctioned, or that you could be sanctioned, rather, that Stark could be sanctioned, but he was wrong. He was arguing there was no way on earth because he had dismissed it. He was wrong. Is that representing you, or is he representing himself? Because it seems like he's arguing any time for himself. And again, I'm just saying, I'm sure that these folks will eat each other alive. It's going to happen. It is going to happen. Once the wheels fall off of this wagon, it's going to get real ugly. So this is 105. Again, second document filed today. Same kind of item, not the same though. So again, starts out same way. But it's talking about the it's talking about document 85 and 86. The defendant moves to pursue 28 U.N.C. 1927 for an order that the plaintiffs pay reasonable attorney fee as sanctions for unreasonably and vexatiously multiplying proceedings by filing frivolous motions to dismiss or strike counterclaims based on the fabricated premise that the counterclaims named the plaintiff's counsel as a party defendant. So anything that the other party has dismissed, now you're going to ask for attorney fee. That's cool. So Randy, by this same logic here, Randy should be able to go in, and Randy should be able, for any answer that he's given to any of these stupid, look at how many things that Bruce has filed that were stupid, that he's had to respond to. Again, document 80, for example, that they complained about, that ended up with order 103, where the judge was like, yeah, this stuff. I mean, are you kidding me? This has been well established. Does that mean Randy should get his money because of what you were doing that was stupid? I actually think that the judge was wrong in this decision as well, because the judge came in and said that that Randy wasn't named as a party. But if you look at the counterclaims, there are no parties named, and Randy is named as a co-conspirator. You know their polyflop argument? He's always talking about co-conspirator, co-conspirator, co-conspirator. How can you not say that that person is a party? And how exactly do you go forward otherwise? I mean, they didn't name any parties, like I say. So who are the parties involved? But he's like, oh man, this thing here, since this motion, he finally has a motion that goes his way. And he's like, I got to get paid for it. Okay, well then, you better start cha-chinging out that money for old Randy, man, because you have filed some dumb stuff. Memorandum in support. Again, 28 U.S.C. 1927. He goes through the same argument. Let me see if this is exactly the same for the other. I don't want to read the exact same thing. Let me make sure that this. Oh my God, this is copy and pasted too. Oh, the judge is going to love this. The judge will be thrilled that not only did BBB file these back to back, but check this shit out. Okay, so the one we just read, look at this. The one we just read, look, an attorney, you can see this again. This paragraph 28 U.S.C. 1927 provides. Okay, you see that paragraph? All right. Well, then the new one, it leads off with, guess what? The exact same paragraph. It's a copy-paste job. He loved boilerplate objections. I'm sure he's going to love boilerplate motions. Holy God. This is amazing. BBB has gotten shot down before for boilerplate objections. That's why he had to come off of stuff he didn't want to for evidence. So what does he do? He learns nothing from it. He does the same damn thing with filings. He launches it the same day. So it's very noticeable. When you read through, you're like, wait a minute. This is the same crap. If that's not bad enough, first paragraph. Okay, second paragraph. You notice 3 factors, 1, 2, 3. Right? Okay. Well, let's check this out. Let's see if it's the same thing. Oh, this is the new one, right? Okay. And give me 1 second. I gotta make sure I've got the right one there. This is the other one. 3 factors, 1, 2, 3. Same paragraph. So second paragraph's exactly the same. Oh man, we are burning it up here. Oh my God. Oh, it keeps going. So this quote And we start out with more particularly. And remember, we had Black's Law Dictionary. All right. So, oh God, this can't be real. I feel like I'm being punked. If this didn't have a docket on it, I would think one of you was playing around with me. Because again, look, here's the new one. I just showed you the first one we read. More particularly, right? Black law and that citation. It's the exact same thing. It is. He decided to copy and paste to a judge that has already gotten on to him about copy and paste. Oh my God. Now, let's see. Putting aside the suspect timing and appearance. Oh my God, this is even better. He's complaining about hastily conceived, drafted, and filed documents. And yet he just copied and pasted the first page and a half of this in another document. How is this real? Oh my God, I love this case. I swear to God, this is the biggest clown show. I've laughed at a lot of stupid during my YouTube tenure here. I've laughed at plenty of stupid, and I've laughed at plenty of stupid outside of this as well. But my God, this is the stupid that ends all stupid. I mean, if you could imagine a black hole that sucks in everything, and you were going to call that stupid prime, and it sucks in all the other stupid. BBB is stupid prime. Right now, it is the stupid that ends all stupid. I mean, really, it's like the Godzilla of stupid. Oh, Lord. Putting aside the suspect timing and appearance of being hastily conceived, drafted, and filed to counter the defendant's filing of a motion for leave to reply to misrepresentations contained in Plaintiff 12B1 opposition, the plaintiff's motions were based on the made-up premise that the counterclaims, quote, seek to add plaintiff's counsel as a defendant, a party defendant. There was no argument that the motions were supported by some authority holding that by mentioning that plaintiff's counsel and by mentioning the plaintiff's counsel in the counterclaim allegation. What? Is he telling us the plaintiff's counsel wasn't named in? Wait, there was no argument that the motions were supported by some authority holding that by mentioning them in. Okay. See, it means that he is a party defendant despite not being designated. Who was designated, moron? Who did you designate, though? You freaking clown. Who did you designate then? Because you didn't name any parties. I mean, that's the problem. What a clown, man. My God. I feel like, can you get stupider reading something? Sometimes I feel like I'm getting stupider reading these documents. I feel like as stupid is oozing into me. I'm like, no, keep it away. I mean, if you look again, I'm going to make this clear. Like, he's saying, well, we didn't name it as a party. Well, you didn't name any party, idiot. That's the thing. You talked about certain people, but you didn't name any party in your counterclaim. The only thing that you did, you talked about, again, at the beginning, the only party, anywhere parties were noted. Like, I'll show you this. So when he's talking about this, he didn't name Jeremy Hales. So who are the parties? Is it just Jeremy Hales? Is it other folks? Who are you going after? You know? So here it is. Look at this. This is on the counterclaim. Remember, they go from answering questions to affirmative defenses to the counterclaims. And like I said, I don't want to get crazy about this. I just want to note, you notice his statements. He talks about plaintiff and counsel, plaintiff and counsel, plaintiff and counsel. And he puts together his polyflop idea that plaintiff's counsel, he has to be a co-conspirator in this. You have to have a willing co-conspirator. They said this millions of times, it seems like. Oh my God. So who are the parties? He's not mentioning party. Like, it's just, that's why Randy was like, you listed me as a party in this. I mean, how can you have a conspiracy and not have, oh my God, it's ridiculous. It's a ridiculous assertion to say that there's a conspiracy, but the other party, I mean, you're talking about them being in there, but you're not going after, okay. You kept saying you were going to sue them. You've written Randy multiple times telling him you were going to sue him over things like this. The motion simply and falsely stated the counterclaims named the plaintiff's counsel as a party defendant to fabricate a pretextual justification to file the motion when they did. It's an abuse of court in litigation. The defendants waited 10 days to file their response in case the court issued a no response necessary ruling. The court denied the motions following day. Document 91 stating, as defendant's response noted, as defendant's response in opposition is confirmed, no counterclaims have asserted against plaintiff's counsel. Therefore, thus, there are no counterclaims against plaintiff's counsel to dismiss. Thus, the court was waiting for the defendants to respond, making it unavoidable that counsel would need to expend the time to do so. Maybe we should talk about that 5 months you bragged about waiting and wasting time and everything else too. How much money and time was wasted in the 5 months that you bragged about delaying this case? Huh? If we're talking about wasting time, energy, money, and more, how much money have you wasted of other people's? Huh. This is ridiculous. I mean, again, he feels entitled anytime something has been shot down where it's wrong. Mr. Gainesville to Gainesville to Gainesville feels like he's going to call. Oh my God. This is but hurt pride. It is objectively unreasonable and vexatious to fabricate false pretexts to justify filing motions to dismiss. Oh my God. I love that he copied the beginning of this document. Attorney fees are warranted under 28 U.S.C. 1927 because the motions necessitated response in the court's ruling, thus multiplying proceedings. I expect a pretty fast reply to all this stupid too. You know, again, same garbage. Maybe we'll get I hope Randy responds really fast before before it gets shut down. Randy, hurry, make a response. hurry. You're on the clock, sir. You are on the clock. I think it's going to get shut down really fast. You need to respond really, really quickly. I mean, for real. I think that otherwise we are looking at it getting shut down real fast. Oh man. So let's go over some super chats. By the way, let me throw this out. Deborah, what's up, Deborah? Thank you for the $20 here. We're hitting super chats here. This is from Cash App. Thank you again. She noted I could say her name. Thank you, Deborah, there. And this for the girls. Indeed. Thank you, Deborah. By the way, I appreciate you there. Deborah, did you send 2 through, Deborah? Did you mean to do that? There's a 25 and a 20 there. And it did say I could say your name. So thank you, Deborah. I appreciate you. You kicking it off there. I appreciate it too. I love it when people tell me I can say their names. That's awesome. Again, Deborah, though, I appreciate you. It's been a good day. Like I'm in a very good mood today, and you guys are a good reason for being in a good mood. So like I said, I thank you all for that too. I mean, we get to have, I look forward to doing these streams. 3,600 of you pop up for this, by the way, too, because in real time, we get to see stupid. And I mean, how often do you get displays like this? I still need to, by the way, there's the Shara video. I still want to catch Larry's video where he talked about stuff. It's just, there's so much that pops up, and I'm not complaining about that because it is it's like a smorgasbord of goodness. But there's a BBB conversation that we've never gotten to look at, which is amazing. there are other in her prior video. We didn't watch her prior video. We watched some of the police stuff, but we didn't look at all the exhibits or watch. I mean, we were behind on that stuff. That tells you how crazy this case is, because there's so much that goes on. But we will have time to catch it. Sooner or later, we'll have a lull. It can't keep this pace. It can't. And we'll see. We'll see what happens. But it is something else to behold. So Wendy kicked it off over here with a $5 super sticker. Thank you, Wendy, by the way. Appreciate it. I did see that one roll in at the beginning. Thank you, too. That's awesome. Judy's this and that. Thanks for the two. Every one of BB's motions is about him personally. Yes, that's it. Is this really, that's a question I have. It's a good point. Is he representing his client's best interest, or is he representing himself? Because he's crying about what happens with him. Oh my God. And you know it's going to get shot down. It's a stupid argument. So what a mess. Cunning linguist. Thanks for the two. Time for more projection and confession. Indeed. Indeed. I mean, I feel like we got a confession in some of that too. And that first one, it was like, that's really weird. Sticky Widget. Thanks for the 5 gifted membership. What's up, Sticky? How you doing, my friend, by the way? Thank you. Deborah, thank you for the membership. Thank you. Welcome. Thank you for the membership. Welcome to Tugs. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. I love saying that too. Thank you. Death's Angel. What's up, Death's Angel? Hope you love enjoying and love swinging that wrench. Appreciate you too. Thank you for the 5 gifted memberships. It's awesome. Love to all you folks. Love the mods out there. Thank you, folks. Max Lab, thanks for the 2. Hey, Tug, you're welcome, bud. Bruce has lost his mind. Indeed, indeed. And I figure some of you are probably like me, and you watch this crazy clown show. Again, you want somebody to have justice, but you've got to watch the clown show too. The clown show is entertaining. It's crazy. I mean, if we were talking about a normal case here, this would be slow. We'd talk about other things. You remember the lull, like when the federal case started up and we were talking about Laura Owens and other things. This, though, it has been so chaotic and consuming. It's eating everything, and it's amazing every day. Every day is a holiday, and I love it. I love it. Dan, thanks for the 5. I'm having a big problem. The umbrella guy, it's making me look like a moron on the background. I feel BBB's like, oh my God, what's going on? Indeed. You're sure on that. Sticky Widget, thanks for the 5. So off topic, no. But why can't they invent shoestrings that stay tied? I mean, they can put a man on the moon. Or did they? Actually, they do have shoestring that stay tied. It's called Velcro. My kids love them. Actually, one of my kids really loves it. She did tell me that. Well, I got to learn to tie my shoes, Dad. My shoe straps over. She did tell me that one day. I can't remember. I was watching some show in the 80s, and they pushed a button on their shoe. It was supposed to be futuristic, and it tied their shoes. So they imagined that in the future too. So it is a good point there. So I really wish, my shoes would stay tied. But could you imagine, like, if you had a self-tying button? Could you imagine when it shorted out, what would happen? Oh my God, it wrapped around my leg. It wraps around somebody else that's walking by. Oh man, that'd be so bad. Emmett, thanks for the 2 there. Okay. Now you have to do a polyflop t-shirt too. I know. That's amazing. See, people would wear polyflop. They just actually. Get in that bucket, baby. Oh my God, I love this stuff. Pokeball, thanks for the 5 there. Your butter bread reminds me of BBB because he's toast. That's right. He's toasted, baby. I love it. Oh, for your ride. Thanks for the 2. BBB, you need some Viagra for his polyflop. Oh no. Oh no. No, poor guy. Linda, thanks for the 30 there. 15 minutes. I know, isn't that wild? 15 freaking minutes apart. I figure that's what you're talking about. 15 minutes between filing. That's wild, isn't it? It's something else. I love it, though. Thank you, Linda, by the way. Love it. Thank you. I love today. I've been in such a good mood laughing about this stuff. And again, you all are a major contributor to that. So thank you. As that, thanks for the 2. Start charging the skippers the deposit costs. Indeed. Indeed, they should. They should. Oh, you're talking about, no, I know what you're talking about there. Actually, you're talking about 15 minutes before the, that's another thing. So we have a filing that comes up. What's up with 15 today? I didn't think about this. So you're right, Linda. Let me go back to this. You're actually, this 15 is what you're talking about. 15 minutes right before. But on top of that, remember, they filed 15 minutes one after the other. If you look at it, you had documents hit 15 minutes after. So what's up with 15 today? Isn't that bizarre? Dun, dun, dun. That's weird, isn't it? But yeah, I mean, 15 minutes, that's crazy. They really do need to, they charge them there. Sorry about that, Linda. I for some reason, after I read those, I was thinking about the 15-minute gap between those two. No, it's very bizarre. Maybe that's what the 15 minutes got used for. They had to clock it. They had to bank it. That is weird. I really hope the judge sees how, I mean, that is inappropriate again. 15 minutes, yeah. So you have to have somebody to record depo. Typically, you're either using a court reporter or you're using an outside agency. But again, we're not talking about sickness or anything else. He's saying he had a trial that starts at 2 today. So he gives 15 minutes notice. And with him not having his, oh, I don't even know what to call them anymore. I'm going to say with not having LMNOP, I'm just going to go with that way. I had all these descriptors flood in. I was like, I'm not saying any of that. I'm going to say I just LMNOP. Without having LMNOP come in, that tells you that he already knew he wasn't going to do that. He just decided that the court's time, it didn't matter. That the cost for Jeremy Hales, all of that, it doesn't matter. That's sanctionable. It very much is. And that's the kind of stuff that gets you in big trouble. SF noted, yes. Start charging skippers, the deposit guys. Yes, indeed. It's ridiculous. It is. That is very ridiculous. I mean, y'all have a good point with all that. Dysfunction. Thanks for the 2. Does that mean he wasn't professional? Indeed. He was very not professional. Sandra, thanks for the 2. I hope he has proof of this other case. Even if he does, even if he has another case and he has proof of it, he already had, again, what makes that more important than this? Again, he didn't set anything up in advance. He just decided to drop that nuke on it and say, no, not going to do it. And he's already, I mean, everything there's so many excuses, ridiculous items. I hope, I figure we're going to see a wrecking ball. We will see for sure, but it'll be fascinating. Sandra, thanks for the 2. Hope he has proof of the other case, though. Yeah, we'll see. Even if he does, though, will it matter? Jane, thank you for the gifted membership there. Thank you, Jane. Again, love it. There were a few people that have written me thanking for gifted memberships. So folks like yourself, all of you that give those, again, it makes an impact on other folks. Thank you for that. That's awesome. Terry, thanks for the 5. So if Stark doesn't have a vehicle, how does he get to the gym 3 times a week for his post therapy? Asking for a friend. I think that he rides piggyback on his wife. I don't know. Can you imagine her running down the road? She's like, I'm going to pay you back for that. The glamour shot that's attached to that photograph. The one that was taken way back when. It looks like he's giving her a piggyback ride. This one. You imagine it reversed though. He's like, all right, we gotta get to the gym. She's like, oh God, 2 more hours of this today. I can't wait for our big payout. Allegedly. Oh, good times. Fun times. For your ride. Thanks for the 2 there. We have blood testing place in our council. Oh my goodness. That's interesting. Well, I mean, like I said, you know, and that's talking about that little hospital. Man, this imaging, like, you know, again, esophageal x-ray. I don't know. Suzanne thinks of 5 months left and it's broke. Indeed. And that's assuming that nothing happens and everything stays on course trajectory. And on top of that, you got everything else, you know, all this other stuff going on. So yeah, it's going to be fascinating, isn't it? It's going to be fascinating to see how that goes. Susan, thanks for the 5 there. I believe he wants sanctions and it screamed bias. Yeah, as in the game. That's true. He's done that. I mean, he screamed and ranted through everything he's done. So, I mean, I think you'd be right on there. Suzanne, thanks for the 5 there, too. He would have likely been, he would have been done likely by now. If he had installed 5 months and brag about it. That's indeed true, too. Any problems he's run across. Yeah, you think about it. He's caused a lot of issues for himself. And again, you have people like Shara come forward. If he wouldn't have delayed 5 months, she may have still come forward, but it wouldn't have mattered in this case. Not in this particular one. Like, we found out a lot of stuff from Shara that's like, holy crap. So yeah. Fallen Hero, thanks for the gifted membership. What's up, Fallen Hero? I guess I appreciate you, my friend. Carol, thanks for the 5. Tuggy Hospital looks bigger than mine. I live in Bedford. On a map, maybe you spit on the map, you'll miss us. This hospital's a 2x4. Oh no. Well, we have there's a hospital. I could take a picture of a hospital, and you'd think it was like a tiny factory. There's one. The next time I go past, I'm gonna show you a really bad looking hospital. That, well, maybe we compare like really crappy hospitals. There's one out here that like I would not go to. I would drive many miles to avoid. It's just amazing. It's so small. Carol, thank you for the gifted membership, by the way. Thank you, Carol. That's awesome of you. Thank you. Dwayne, what's up, Dwayne? Dwayne Rap. I like it. I don't know, man. I like the name. I do. Dwayne Rap, too. It sounds like you have a career going on with that. That's cool, man. I do. I like it. I like the way your name flows. Thank you for the 10 gifted memberships. What's up? Thank you. I'm all over the place today. Like I said, not really excuse me. I'm more entertaining this way, but this is me sober. That's the wildest thing about all this. Carol, thanks for the 2. Tug, my autocorrect is not working. Sorry. You're fine, Carol. You should see. Ask Megan one day, like some of the stupid stuff that like my like when I type out things, when I'm going, if I'm out in the boonies, messages come in choppy and they look weird. Sometimes I don't proofread sometimes too. And some of the stuff that comes up, it's like, oh my God, what in the mess is this? So you are totally good there. You're great, Carol. Carol, thanks to the 5. So he's asking for sanctions, but if I understand, he's not being paid. That's right, exactly. So wouldn't that mean a 0 for Lulyer fees? Indeed, you would think, right? You would think. That just tells me, again, I think all of this is a big cash grab. Again, hoping at the end of the day that they're going to get the streets lined with gold that go right to Jeremy's pockets. Hale, thanks for the 5 there. There's not a statement attached, but that is a statement. You backing the channel is. So thank you for backing and making this statement. Appreciate it. Janice, thanks for the 10 there. This foreskin ambulance chaser is whining, sniveling little beetles. The judge specifically said to not file another motion about the sanctions motion Randy filed. What an... Yes, that is also correct. He has told him not to be... I forgot to even bring that up. He has said, hey, don't do this. But again, how many times has the judge said not to do something and that's been violated? I mean, we've noticed that repeatedly in this case, haven't we? By one certain party. It's just flagrant. It's amazing that he does it that way too. Bernice, thanks for the 30 months there. Hey, Tug, it's been a while since I got a live. Hope as well. It is indeed. I hope you are doing great, by the way. I hope you can catch them. This case, by the way, if you haven't been able to keep up with some of that, you should. It is a wild, wild ride right now. And man, I hope you've caught up, again, if not here, other places. And I hope you're okay. I hope everything's going good, love to you. Yeah, thanks for the 5 there. BBB's so butthurt. He's got a major case of the polyflops. I've heard they're worse than hemorrhoids. Indeed. That's why that's why we gotta deny them. We do. We have to knock out those polyflops. Proud Boomer also says it again. Great note here. What fees? Isn't he pro se? Yes, indeed. You are on that too. That's well thought right off the bat. Elephant, thanks for the 2. Hashtag pro boner. Indeed. Indeed. He is. Wait, maybe he's not. I don't know. Maybe he's hashtag. I don't know. Who knows? Sandra, by the way, thank you for the gifted membership and the awesome freaking avatar. As always, I love it. Love it both. Thank you. Thank you for dropping that out there too. J.M. Gray, thanks for the 5. So Stark is suddenly well enough to come to court. Yeah, I guess so. I thought he was so ill he couldn't attend last time. Now he's busy with court. Fascinating, isn't it? There's also some other fascinating stuff. Like I saw a post from it wasn't that old. It's within a year where they had gotten new equipment, for their offices. They're talking about that. His wife had posted it. And I thought, well, isn't that interesting too? So their equipment is absolute garbage after 1 year. That's kind of strange. It seems like a lot of things are just excuses in the making, don't they? AKA the cat lady. Thanks for the 10. I don't think Bruce can afford the lawyer programs, like you said, like Westlaw, because he's citing Black Law Dictionary. Also suspects he wants to get kicked off the case to increase Jeremy's cost and time. Yeah, they've actually been naming another. This is fascinating. So they've been talking about another lawyer. I'm not going to say who, but I thought, really? You don't want that either. But they're afraid the ecosystem, it sounds like, the BBB is going to get kicked off this case. They are afraid of it. I wonder, I don't know if that'll happen. I don't even know if that's great because, again, he's a terrible lawyer. Like, again, does he deserve it? Yeah, I think so. But I would rather see him get sanctioned, like heavily, for what he's been doing, because of the way he's been acting and operating. I don't know if I want him. Like, again, if you deny him, we do not get to see him fail at this case. And if he gets kicked off this, but if there's a huge sanction that comes in, and if any of that money especially hits his clients, oh my God, they will go ape shit. They will lose their minds. You talk about good. Oh. So I don't know if I really want this. I don't know. Again, we'll see. Again, I don't want to. Whatever Randy and Jeremy went off that's their case. I'm just looking at this and I'm thinking, BBB again, get him kicked off. Like, it's deserved, and it would be funny, but he's a terrible lawyer. Continuing with him, how many more things he's going to screw up? Yeah. I mean, a competent lawyer would have been able to try a lot more with this case too. There were certain things that they didn't try that I was surprised by too. I'm not going to say what. I don't want to help him in any way, but there were a few moves I was surprised he didn't try. Allie, thanks for the 5. Wally flop is when a loopy lawyer yaps for leaving oddball paperwork. Wally flop. That's funny. DJ Radis, thanks for the 2. Did you get my Bruce and Scott picture? Oh my God, I saw that. I did. We're gonna have to save that though. I don't want to pull that up yet. I think that I really want to have fun. I want to see some Megan responses to some stuff. But yeah, I didn't see that. That's beautiful. Hey, look, thanks to the 5 there. BBB is the perfect lawyer for this case. The soap opera would be a lot more dull without him. I know, it actually would because he's terrible. And God, I mean, it's so nuts. Lily thinks of do you think there's a possibility he's trying to get some of the left extremists to go after Germany by bringing all of MAGA into it? He's trying to bring politics into it, period. And they've said that before. They've wanted to bring politics into it because if they bring politics into it, see, Jeremy, ultimately, it's like me. I don't talk about actually, just to be perfectly clear, I don't really like any political party. I don't feel like they represent me at all. I feel like we are really close together. But regardless, we don't really get into politics. We're talking about something different here. You don't see Jeremy saying, well, this with politics or that with it. They're hoping, yes. I think that it motivates people to buy into this idea. First, to go after the judge, and also it's a conspiracy theory, but also to attack Jeremy with it. I mean, and again, that could go any way. They want to pigeonhole him as a certain thing. They put on all kinds of buzzwords with him. They've tried to call him a phobe. They've tried to call him a predator. They've done all of that. They want to attach anything to him. And again, he's not talked about it. His opinions on that. They don't have anything to do with storage. They don't have anything to do with the case. They don't have anything to do with that at all. And they certainly don't have to do with the judge on this case. But yeah. I do think it is. It's partly about that, I think. But also, like I said, I think it's just about them excusing BBB. Because BBB has given these idiots access too. Without BBB, they would have no access whatsoever. They would have access, to maybe LMLP and JC, but they wouldn't have any access to the court. And they don't know shit about court cases, by the way. You can tell they have no idea what they're talking about with stuff. It's gonna be funny when they read these 2 filings and brag about them. Like I said, I think people should just laugh at every time they put out this talking point where they think that something has gone well, and it hasn't. It absolutely hasn't. Look at how many times they've been wrong with things, and then they pretend they never talked about it at all. It's just so funny. So they'll try to be like, ha ha ha, sanctions. They're going to get him. He's cooked. And then nothing will happen. Meanwhile, again, also, I didn't think about this. This also gives a way to try to deflect away from the idea that Bruce may well get kicked off the case or sanctioned. If they talk about Jeremy and sanctions, then they can redirect. Remember, just like anything else, you know how they've tried to do that with every accusation that comes up? Well, that will give them a way to accuse Jeremy of something, so they don't have to really talk about Bruce and the serious stuff that's coming up because of the way he's acted. Now, Elephant, thanks for the 2. Is this a lawful law? Asking for a friend? Are you talking about the motion? Is what he's doing lawful? Wow. He can file. He may, it's funny what he described. This is actually very interesting. Think about this. What he talked about with vexatious filings, garbage filings, wasting the court. Didn't he just do that? What he just filed, isn't that wasteful? And didn't he defy what the judge said about not doing what he's doing? So with everything that he did, asking for sanctions and more, I mean, the judge, I don't know if he would do this, but he could potentially turn around and be like, hey, I told you not to do this, sanctions. Yeah, because it's very butthurt. Nancy, thanks for the 2. Did BBB not sign that email as Esquire? I'm not sure. I don't know if he did or not. I have to check to be honest. I'll look later. I'm not sure. I'd have to look though. I don't really know if he did. Maybe he was so mad he didn't. He was like, "Ugh." What's up, Joanne? See, JoJo's Adventures. Thanks for 5 gifted memberships too. That's awesome. Like I said, I love gifted memberships. I love watching them roll in. I saw somebody say this. Elephant, thanks for the 2. Pro hot to yeah. uh, I'm sure. I'm sure that is some BB. Allegedly. Well, I don't know if anybody's alleged that yet, but maybe. Shizzy Whiz and Shizzy Nut Whiz, rather. I was going to say Whiz Nut. Shizzy Nut Whiz. Not that one. Thanks for 5. I read the short buzz. BBB ruined the busted big wheel. That's funny. You threw me off there too. That's funny. I love it. Chance MP, thanks for the 2 months. By the end of my RN Masters, I had the APA book almost memorized. Yeah, I do prior auths now. I cite current literature using APA style. Indeed. I mean, that's how you do. You know, you learn it. It gets drilled in. For a long time now, I haven't done any of this in a while. I can't even remember how to do this because it's been years. But I used to teach advanced statistics. You know, I got interested in psychological statistics. And it was like I couldn't get enough of it. You know, so I kept learning. I never was attracted to math. But psychological statistics were interesting because you're talking about humans. And I got interested in the alpha levels too, because, you know, when you're learning to test, typically, if you don't know what I'm talking about here, alpha levels are the variance, the plus or minus. You know, like if you're talking about planes falling out of the sky, you don't want high variance. You don't want to say 5% of planes fall out of the sky. That'd be terrible, right? But with people in psychological statistics, you have 5. Yeah, it's acceptable to have 5%. Sometimes you have higher. And I got really interested in eliminating more of the variance. So I got addicted to that. And then teaching people how to work what they were doing into papers. And again, APA style became part of that. Now, I haven't done that in years. I actually thought about teaching for a while. But the entitlement of college students, and I'm not talking about just a regular student, I'm talking about some students with just insane amounts of money. It's some of the things that happen. I told the story. I did this real briefly. I had a student, never wore shoes, and I was teaching a statistic class. It was an intro statistic class, and this guy, he walks in with, let's just say, some dog droppings on his feet. Disgusting. He'd walk through them. He walks it in. I told him he needs to leave and clean that up. That's gross. He just didn't care. You know, it was nasty. Like other students shouldn't put through that grossness. Well, he got mad and went to his parents, who were big donors at the school. And one of the higher ups at the school, they talked to me about that. And I was like, are you kidding me? You know, are you kidding me? You know, I think everybody, I get you can dress or do whatever you want, but don't the other people in the class, don't they get basics like not having somebody stinking and tracking things like that around? But I guess that big dollar sign, I just didn't want to deal with it after that. Anyway, there are a lot of weird stories from college, by the way. Some really funny ones, but I have to tell some of those one day. But that's an awesome chance to be. I hear you. You know, that for a while, APA stuff was just, it's drilled into my brain. Chris, thanks for the fun. Breadstick money. So the haters get mad that they can't get it. Yes, indeed. They do too. Have you noticed that? You notice how mad they get about things like that? Again, they can put out a new grift, but they can't just get backing typically, unless they're like, oh my God, that's something mean. I'm gonna cry. Oh my God. And people are like, oh, it's okay. here's some money that you can wipe your tears away. But otherwise, just to support the show now. Janice thinks it did. I think that Deuce Foreskin Ambulance, Jace, or mental illness. He has to have the last word on everything. Has poor impulse control pertaining to writing emotions. There are some things there that I do find troubling. I would not remote diagnose someone and say that they do or do not have something, but I do think that some of the issues that are showcased there, they are indeed troubling. Benny Troop, thanks for the 5 there. Proactua may be able to help BBB earn bus money from pro boner work. That slip was funny, Tug. Yeah, indeed. Maybe I don't know. I think old Hawk 2 is setting it out, unless she's come back recently. You know, she disappeared after her crypto debacle. You know, where people kind of got robbed. And you know, she was like, I'm going to go lay down, and she didn't come back for God knows how long. I don't know if she still is away. I have to look now. Now you got me curious. Kelly, thanks for the 6 months. At least the Ohio judge is making her pay a little bit. Not enough, in my opinion. Yeah, that's true. Well, you know, unfortunately, that shows you protective orders are garbage. They don't really help. Like $50 in a protective order. I mean, that's awful. Violating a protective order. You know, it tells you again, protective orders. What good do they do? Been there, done that. That was not safe. And thanks for the 7 there. Pronounce. Is that Lee's and? Am I saying that? Lee's and, right? You're gonna be like, I still can't pronounce that right. You awful. I hope I got it right for real. They need to replace the crown, the website with these emotions. Again, they need to put it out with a dunce cap because these people are so dumb. They do. They did a dunce count with their big polyflop. Dad, thanks for the vibe. Bruce, I'm telling the teacher, tongue is picking on me. Indeed. Yeah, he has cried about people making songs and covering this case. Have you noticed how many times he's told the judge, they're using their free speech to make songs and cover the case? Oh my God. It's maddening. Purple Van thinks of the 5. BBB is accusing Randy of everything that he himself is doing. Yes, indeed. I believe you are indeed correct in that. 100%. John, thanks for the 10. Do you think if this wasn't about Jeremy being on YouTube, this judge would have already sanctioned BBB? No way a lawyer could be this dumb and be I think this judge, I think he's given him every opportunity. I think judges, first of all, judges do not like to allow the potential for appeal wins. So they're very careful with that. Now, I also think that this judge may have bought into the idea that LMNOP and JC are indigent. And if they're indigent, this is the only guy they could get. So kicking him off there or sanctioning him and stuff, this is just the best they could do, right? So if you got an idiot there, well, at least he's an idiot trying to do something. You know what I mean? And over time, I don't know. Otherwise, I can't say it because, again, I think that BBB, he's treated like a pro se plaintiff, you know, that's going in that, or pro se rather, defendant instead of counsel. And that's bizarre. But it may be because, again, he bought into the fact that, well, if they lose that, who else will they get? And I'm not sure. I hope the judge, again, understands these people have access to tens of thousands of dollars. They don't want to use it for that. But if they have access to it, they should have to, just like Jeremy doesn't want to use it for that. He doesn't want to, again, who wants to spend $250K on litigation? You know, they pretend you're going to make your money back. No, you don't. You do not make that back. It's wild though. But I do wonder. I mean, I don't think it's about YouTube though. I really don't think the judge in this particular case really cares about videos. He would have said something and made a ruling about that if he really cared about it. You know, again, he's been a First Amendment lawyer. I mean, a First Amendment judge, as in you can say whatever. So I don't think that's it. But some of them, maybe. Marcus King, 1 year on that. 1 year birthday, baby. Thank you for the year there, Marcus. That's awesome. Appreciate you, buddy. And thank you for dropping the gifted membership with that. Thank you, Ann. Appreciate that. That is awesome of you, by the way. Thank you. AKA the Cat Lady. Thanks for 10. Did you know Dave Neal interviewed Taylor Lorenz yesterday about her article, Bodily versus Lively case is a pipeline to the right-wing MAGA anti-Me Too. I wouldn't talk to, if that truly is, if he did talk to Lorenz is garbage. I don't think you should platform these people. You know, yeah, I love Dave Neal. I just have this thing. I don't deal with media. Maybe that makes me smaller than I could be. You know, a lot of people, they will jump in and they'll deal with these people. These people are scumbags. So Taylor Lorenz, she has finally been booted out of every mainstream thing, and she's been banished to Substack. Let her career rot in the hole that it is. You make fun of what they write, but you never platform them because they are trash. That's my personal. Again, that is nothing disparaging with Dave Neal. I love Dave Neal. He's a nice guy. He's legitimately a nice guy. He also probably doesn't like to be what he would consider vilified or smeared. But you know what that comes with this? They will smear you with anything they can. Like me, I get no fucks given. You know, I don't. But I don't care about infamy. If I get it, cool. You know, if somebody remembers, oh, that terrible dude, the pickle guy, that umbrella dude, good. If we talk about one of those horrible freaking monsters and they remember you elbow dropping them verbally, that's awesome. That's all we need. But the rest of it, I can't stand platforming them. But that's cool. Like Dave is a good guy though. Again, I do want to state that. I do like Dave and I respect him. His decisions are his own too. That's just my thinking about these people. DJ Redis, thanks for the vibe. If you show the picture, non-sound video, and you don't, I'll donate a gifted sub. If you laugh, you owe me. Just saying. New email sent. I'm not gonna pull anything up right this minute. I'll check it out though. I definitely will. DJ Redis. Appreciate it. You know what I've enjoyed with the DJ Redis chase is I heard you were going to be I heard ICE was going to pick you up. You know, that's what they kept saying, that if he comes to Otter Creek, ICE is going to get him. And they never did get him. They never did pick him up. So isn't that fascinating? They kept promising me that in the ecosystem. DJ Redis was going to get deported. And yet another thing, they don't ever talk about anymore, do they? Maureen, thanks for the 6 months. Shizzy wants to know if you want a new letter. Send one over. I'll read it tomorrow for sure. Shizzy, if you want to. For today, I'm obviously it's later now when you mention that. And thank you, by the way, Maureen. But I would definitely read one tomorrow. I love Shizzy's letters. They're funny. They're funny. I miss Shizzy too when he's not around. So I would definitely read one tomorrow. Matt Hatter. Matt. Thanks for the 2. Grudge always said 15 minutes. Well, there's another 15 minutes. Oh my God. There's a bunch of freaking, what's up with all the 15 minutes? Again, it's getting weirder. Becky, thanks for fun. What was the deposition for? The federal case or the one? That would be the trespass fine. I believe it's trespass fine. You know, so I mean, they'd set up. It's not the federal case yet. No, that was one of Stark's cases. See, Stark doesn't have any connection whatsoever with the federal case. So, but he's still part of the dog and pony show with those two. I really, again, I know that a lot of people, like even Megan was like, hey, you know, I feel sorry for the guy. He's a dude. I don't feel sorry for him. I really don't, because if it were reversed and somehow he would have won against DUI guy, or if he would have been able to step on him or Jeremy or anyone there, he wouldn't have given a second thought about it. He wouldn't feel remorse for them. He would think they're a payday. I think he thought he was going to get a massive payday out of that. God knows what he was promised, but you know, and again, that just shows they're probably nicer, more empathetic people than me. But I don't. I look at them and I think, man, that person, they would cheerlead me into the ground if they had the chance. So screw him, you know. If he ends up getting sanctioned, I really do hope he gets sanctioned. Shelly, thanks for the 279. Shizzy wanted to know too about the new letter. Thank you for asking, Shelly, too. Yes, again, Shizzy, I would love to have one again tonight. I wouldn't read, but I would definitely read tomorrow. I think it would be fun to laugh about. Pokemon, thanks for the 5 there. I think I've changing my clown name from Pokey to Polly Flop Flop Flop. Polly Flop Flop Flop. That's awesome. You need a longer clown nose too. Vanessa, thanks for the 10 there. Glad your imaging was okay today. I got Kia Type Hospital. Please send like a love and get some skinny pop popcorn for indeed. Yeah, love was not that. My oldest was not feeling very good today. She was I think it was sinuses getting to her. She started feeling better though later on. She was hanging with grandma and she was not well this morning, but she said she was feeling better today. And the little one was running crazy. This was funny. So last night she had been told to go to bed. She'd taken a nap, so she was live wired at night, and she was told she had to go to bed. And I fell asleep. I was downstairs, fell asleep, sat in my chair, and I woke up, and she was sitting in another chair. She was laying in there, and she was playing with a doll. Well, she heard me waking up, and she stretched her hands out to each side, and she just dropped the freaking doll, laid her hands down, and pretended to be asleep. So after about like 30 seconds, and she was looking over to see if I was awake. So I pretended I was still asleep. And she got her doll. You know, she's playing with it and stuff there. She's supposed to be in bed, in her bed, not down there. But, you know, I'll let her sleep there. That's okay. But she's playing. And again, she's supposed to be asleep. So after about a minute of play, I was like, hey, what are you doing? And it was funny because all of a sudden she went back to wanting to fake asleep, not realizing she'd been caught. But she not only drops her arms, but she threw the doll and it went flying across the room. Oh, it was very funny. She's funny like that. He's funny, but thank you for that. So, Becky, thanks for vibe. Who are the lawyers for the Trespass 5? For the people themselves, I don't know who all the representation will be on that. Again, Trespass 5 is an absolute mess. I don't know what half of the stuff that's going on with Trespass 5. I think, Randy is involved with part of it. I don't know if he's representing everyone involved. And again, the policeman also, he's involved too. I don't know if Randy's in everyone. I can't remember if he's involved with everyone there. Or for other people, if everyone's even been served. I'd have to go back. And the reason I say that is I would know that typically, but it's been so long since I've looked at that case that I just can't remember. Maybe everybody could tell you in the chat, because again, that's my bad. I haven't looked at that case in so long because what's going on with it? It's frozen in place. It's been nuts. It's been a mess. Lawanda, thanks for the 10 there. I see BBB breaking out in song. Pop and flop from Gainesville to Gainesville. Indeed. That's funny. Because this show is all about me. Yeah, me, the BBB. That's funny. I love it. That's actually pretty funny. I could hear him singing that. BBB, me. It's funny. Janice, thanks for the 20 there for Lug and Bug for whatever they want. Love hearing them. Such a good dad. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. I try. Again, I want my kids to know at the end of the day, like when they get older, they had that they were loved, that they had a dad that loved them. I ask them that sometimes. I'm like, I ask my eldest, I'm like, do you feel loved? Do you know that you're loved? And yeah, I mean, I ask them about that because I want them to. I know, I really do. Thank you. I appreciate that. Connie, thanks for the vibe. Justice does not belong to a political party. It belongs to we the people. Indeed. This is the thing. When we look at this stuff, here's what we need to understand. It doesn't matter what side of a political divide or none of them that you belong to. Things are not like this. This is not a right or left issue. This is a right or wrong issue. So in this case, we should all be on one side of that. We don't want to be in the wrong. And that's not about political party. That's about, you look at that and you do the best your ability there. Green Veggies, thanks for the 5. But sir, I'm a lawyer pre-boner. Pre-boner too. It's I like it, even pre-boner. I like that better. I'm not getting paid for that screen job. Oh my God, I love it. Pre-boner. I love that word. That's actually even funnier. Oh my God, I love it. Denise, thanks for the 10 there. Lynette was found guilty of violating PO and was fined $100 in court. My bad, $100. $100. Yeah. Yeah, there are violations on that. I mean, $100 though. I mean, that's nothing in court fees, of course, but $100. What does that mean? Like, that's such an insult, isn't it? Like, that's what I mean. Like, you can be terrorized, and you get a 100. You get this person gets $100 violation. No wonder people do awful things to other folks. And again, I'm not taking a shot at the judge in that. I'm taking a shot at the system that allows that. What good are protective orders if now I have to go in, I have to fight the way, and look at the delay. And look at how much discretion has been given. Like these idiots in Levy County, these police, these assholes need to be put behind bars, I think. Because if police cannot, they should not get the ability to walk away. They should actually have any of their protection stripped if they are not going to follow law. When I hear cops bragging in a video that, oh, Jeremy's not going to like this thing I filed. And they're telling you, well, if it is, we need to really get something that'll stick because of his connections and because of his platform. That's messed up, man. It's really messed up. So yeah, I mean, that's crazy though. $100 in attorney's fee. That's nuts. Red Knight, thanks for the 20. Looks like BBB is starting to see the writing on the wall and is working to be dismissed. The attorney of record from this case by the defendants. We will see what happens. I wonder sometimes. I wonder. Oh, maybe he has no plan whatsoever. I can't decide if it's all ego, if he really wants to bail out. Like, I don't know. Like that paycheck. And he thought he would be able to mobilize an entire ecosystem, like a real one. He thought he would be able to bring the gong and bring people flooding in, and it would help him. Has it? No. Like if paint chips and Darth Touch are the only thing that he can bring in, he's failed. He has absolutely failed. Melissa, thanks for the 2. Imagine if BBB were Amber Heard's lawyer. Oh, no. No, even worse. That's terrible. I mean, they were bad, and then, what a mess. I can't even imagine. That would be so bad. Just Schwartz, thanks for the 2 there. Check out a replay. Storm cleanup currently. Hey, I hope you guys are okay. Any of you that dealt with storms, by the way, I get it. I had to do cleanup. I lost bookshelves. I've got the fans off right now. I've got fans drying out the flooring where I've gone through with cleanup and everything after that water leak, another one. It's like, oh my God. So, I get you there. I hope you all are okay. Janice, thanks for 10. Lynette and Crook have their posts removed every time when they comment on the hater channel. All the lives rather, have had Lynette and Crook's comment deleted. Yeah, actually, this is fascinating. So I had some screenshots sent to me, and in it looks like Lynette got mad about something happening with her comments removed, and she started talking about how she's going to start posting on her YouTube channel to talk about things. So maybe there's some sooner or later all of that's going to fall apart if there's not new money coming in and more. I mean, that's really the only thing that keeps grifters like that attached to each other will be the money. If it's not there, if she's getting hit with fees, sanctions, looking down the barrel of more sanctions, it's not going to be long, is it? Yeah, it's a mess there. Red Knight, thanks for a 50 there. Thank you for that. Where the hell these idiots like BUB hide and manage to stay in business as a lawyer? You do wonder that, right? This is embarrassing with the level of ineptitude on display here. Sanctions are probably the least the polyflops issue. That's what I think. Like sometimes, again, we don't know the client list and everything else. We don't know how successful. I could, again, if I went out and say I completed the bar, right? Passed the bar. That doesn't make me a good lawyer, right? It's like the old joke. You know what the worst lawyer that graduated in any class out there, you know what you call them? You call them a lawyer. The worst lawyer is a lawyer. The best lawyer is a lawyer. So, yeah. I mean, who knows there? Paul, thanks for that. Can Travis fill in for Megan this week? I thought about having Travis, maybe I need to have Travis. I do. I get caught up in everything that's been going on. Like I said, today with medical imaging. So let me see. We're at Wednesday. We should have a day. Yeah. Let me see if we can arrange that. That's a good idea. I'm glad you mentioned that, Paul, to be honest. You know what? I'm glad you mentioned that because I get caught up in things. I just don't think about it. But you're right. Lily, thanks for the 5. I think BBB, mentally ill. Perhaps. Again, I have to be careful on that. I don't ever want to remote diagnose somebody. As somebody, if you've diagnosed before or you currently do that, there's a slippery slope in that. Now, people do that over YouTube all the time. That's just me talking about, my own thoughts on it. But yeah, I mean, maybe. Zilla, thanks for the 2. Hope you got the lyrics to Polymorph. It's crap. Yeah, I've seen some. By the way, people have been sending me some awesome lyrics to different things, and I've had a good laugh at a bunch of those. They're very good. They're very, very good. Give me a minute here. Ooh. Give me a second. Ooh, am I seeing something spicy? Give me a moment. My freaking email is being slow. Oh my goodness. Tomorrow we're going to have some spice. Tomorrow. Let me note this for you, okay? You want to hear something? You want to give you a preview of tomorrow that I think will be coming? Actually, you want to hear about something that we will get to cover tomorrow? Would you like that? I think you'll like this. So tomorrow we will look over motions for sanctions. That's right. We will look over the motions for sanctions. So they are coming. They will be fun times there. I love it. Motions for freaking sanctions there. I think it'll be fun. I love it. I love that there. For who? Oh, for the LMNOP mess for today. That's right. We will be talking about, give me 1 minute. Give me a second. I'm going to pull something else up. I'm looking at something. There will be a motion to compel. Ooh, I think we'll be looking at, since LMNOP won't come forward, it looks like we'll be looking at a motion to compel. So to force her to come forward and give Depo. Doesn't that sound fun? Sounds fascinating to you. And look at some stuff with sanctions too. So since she skipped out, oh, Randy's going to be fun. I have the feeling. I heard some fun. Oh, it's going to be good. Oh, it's going to be fun there. But anyway, yeah, tomorrow we are going to have fun. Oh, my Lord. This stuff, it's like it's like the fun that never ends, honestly. You know? Oh, man, what is this, too? Give me a second. I got to look at something else. There's, oh, Lord. And right at the end here, we got a little flood of, of fun times. What? Is that right? Did a member of the ecosystem get banned today too? That's something else. Oh, there's so much goodness. Yeah, it looks like good Lord, there's other stuff too. People are sending me some pretty good stuff. I think you're gonna enjoy. I think we're actually gonna have fun talking about items. But tomorrow we're gonna have some pretty good stuff come up. So make sure that you're here tomorrow. It'll be a pleasant one. You will enjoy it. But again, who knows? That's just the beginning. I didn't realize we'd have so much today. Like I said, I expected to have a few things to talk about, but nothing like we had. I mean, today has been amazing. And good Lord, who knows what else we'll have go on. But I'm going to call it here for now. I hope you've had a good one. Yeah. I'll see you tomorrow. It's going to be a good one already. I can already tell you. And who knows, it may even get even better. But anyway, see you then. Appreciate you too. Wait, oh, I missed a super chat there. Canadian Charter, I don't want to miss you there. Thanks for 5. My false accusations were made in an email. CCC too. Yes, that's a good point there. To a whole bunch of people, not in a public filing to the courts. Well, that's so funny. What a dumb idiot, right? To say that. I'll laugh about that a little bit more tomorrow, too. You have a good point in that. I mean, it's so funny what he said in that. I've got to drink in some of this. You know, after I read something the next day, I think, oh my gosh, did he really say that? So we'll have fun tomorrow. But I appreciate all of you. It's been a great one. We'll have a great one tomorrow. See ya.